Hey, what's going on, boxing world? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from all parts of the world. It's your boy AB, um, one of Manny Pacquiao's team members by the name of Sean Gibbons, I believe, Gibbons, whatnot. He announced that the plan for Manny Pacquiao's return is on April, since his duties as senator will have a temporarily relief break from duties. So his next fight is going to be in April. As now that the date's revealed, the question is, who is he going to fight, or who is he willing to fight? You know, Pacquiao's the WBA super and WBA regular, which I think eliminates regular. So now he's a WBA super. How that works, but he is one of the main champions at the 147. I would love him to fight Spence, but Spence is unfortunately in his own situation, and I hope he gets better. And there's, Sean even said it himself that Pacquiao is gonna most likely face Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, which those two fighters separately are a great recipe for great fights. In one hand, you have one Danny Garcia, who is now, out of the two, is a natural 147 fighter. He was the man at 140 and moved up. He has, he's taken two losses from two at the time. Well, one was undefeated, Keith Thurman, and he lost to the rough, tough Sean Porter. Danny, many question his victories over Mauricio Herrera, Lamont Peterson. They thought that, Danny didn't throw enough. He got outclassed. He got outworked. Like in this case, Mauricio Herrera was a better boxer. And, Danny Garcia at this point in his career needs that win. He needs to reestablish himself as that top dog that he once was at 140. And with Pacquiao, that's a great fight. I think that Danny, to fight somebody like a Pacquiao, he needs to triple his work rate, his punching volume, and he needs to set more traps to, land that hook that he has, that he possesses, but that's a great fight, Manny Pacquiao, Filipino, Danny Garcia, Boricua, Puerto Rican, American, from Philly, dude in Vegas. Danny still got a decent fan base, regardless of his losses. Danny's still solid, and I actually do want to see. I do want to know how much Danny Garcia Pacquiao pay-per-view numbers do, because as you know, Danny hasn't been on pay-per-view yet, and all these other welterweights have. Garcia, Spence, Porter, Thurman. They already been on pay-per-view, and we're already seeing the type of numbers they have contribute to the PBC Fox brand. That fight. I think if Pacquiao was to fight Danny, it's gonna end. For me, I feel like Pacquiao wins. I feel like if Pacquiao is to win, sorry, I don't want to make here predictions, but if he is to win, he beats Danny by decision. If Danny was to beat Pacquiao, I think he edges a split decision, or he could knock him out. I don't know. I feel like Pacquiao took so much punishment in that last fight against Thurman. And his age was catching up. I seen signs of it. I don't want to say that he's being washed up, but there was signs of him looking like age was catching up to him. But Pacquiao's Pacquiao. The angles, he will throw, he will punch, he will land. So Danny got a nice chin. So I don't see him knocking out Danny. And then with Mikey just came off a tough loss with Errol Spence. It showed that Mikey didn't belong in that weight class. Or let me rephrase. I don't think he belonged to fight the best fighter at 147 and Errol Spence. Yeah, I'm saying it. Errol Spence right now is the best 147 fighter. He didn't belong there. He should have taken other welterweights before stepping in with the big sharks. But this matchup with Pacquiao will be great too. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Pacquiao fight at 140. I think Pacquiao can still make 40, 35 even. But yeah, him and Pacquiao would be a great fight. Mikey's more textbook fundamental. I feel like he will give Pacquiao more of a boxing clinic if possible. I think he's more technically sound than Danny. I think that he will set the traps that he needs to. I think he will. His boxing skills overall would school Pacquiao. Um, I didn't like the punishment he took against Errol Spence. There was that one round. I felt like if Errol Spence would have turned up the notch, I think he would have probably the ref would have stopped it. And I think Pacquiao, even at this age, his power. I think Pacquiao has more power than Errol Spence, and I do think that Pacquiao could knock out Mikey. Or I think I could see they stopping Mikey. But I think Pacquiao Filipino and Mikey Garcia Mexican American. That's like a classic. It's like World War III, or it's like a throwback to Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez. Not to say I'm comparing Mikey to Marquez or anything in terms of style, but I'm just comparing them in terms of the hype and in terms of the narrative of that, Philippine versus Mexico. Pacquiao's this, back in the day when he was fighting like the Barreros, the Morales, the Marquez, they would call him Pacquiao like the Mexican killer. He was beating up all these Mexicans, not only beating them, like he was harassing them, he was beating them up. He was basically just ending their careers. Margarito too. He gave that guy a beating. He's never been the same since. So, and I think Pacquiao fighting Mikey will be a redemption to that devastating loss to Manuel Marquez, the 2014, was it 2014? 2013, 2014, something like that. The fourth fight when he got like knocked out cold. I think him fighting Mikey will be some sort of redemption, because the last time he got knocked out, a Mexican knocked him out badly. So yeah, him fighting Mikey would give him gives him the chance to erase some of those dark times of his past in the boxing ring. He gets to say that, hey, listen, I beat another great Mexican. My legacy as this Mexican killer phenomenon is still here. If given the chance, I will redeem myself and beat Marcus. Who knows? This might be a setup where if he fights Mikey, and like I said, that's a tough fight too. I'm not doubting Mikey. I think Mikey could give him a tough fight too. But if he's able to beat Mikey, some way maybe Pacquiao says, you know what, Marquez, you're next. Where you running, boy? It's two great fights. You can never go wrong. Mexico versus Philippines. The history's there, and it's there. The history's right there. You're gonna have a packed house, and I think in just pay-per-view numbers wise, I think I'll do a little better. I see this fight maybe 450, and if I see Pacquiao and Danny, I'd see it at 400,000, and I see Mikey Pacquiao 450, 500. I don't see it passing Thurman Pacquiao. I don't know why, or maybe it does. 550. But if Mikey could beat Pacquiao, this is also a redemption for him. This is this is chapter 2 of his stardom. Because he got minor setback, but from the beat Pacquiao will be a great comeback. So, what do you guys think? Who you guys would like to see Pacquiao? I would like to see Pacquiao fight personally Spence, but if not Spence, I'm fine. I honestly think him versus Mikey's the sense. Honestly, yeah. So, guys, it's your boy AB. Let me know what you think. Comment below, and comment what you think, and I'll be glad to comment back, man. Appreciate you guys. Peace.